Good afternoon everybody, and thank you very much for attending our presentation, which is really a case for finance for an enterprise based in the Philippines but incorporated here in Australia. My name is John Callender and I am a joint director of the company G-Trans International Proprietary Limited. I will be joined by my colleague from China, Mr. Zhang, who is an import agent based in the beautiful and busy Chinese port of Qingdao. Anyway, we are here today basically to convince you, in short, that G-Trans' digital marketing strategy is worthy of support, indeed we hope financially. G-Trans is a manufacturer of high-quality, precision-built model ships and aeroplanes, as displayed by Mr. Zhang in front of the camera now, and some samples of which you can see on the screen here. Here is a model aircraft, for example, that is manufactured in our factory completely by hand. Not a machine has touched it, and it's a high-precision, high-quality product. We also do model ships, as Mr. Zhang will show you. And again, this model ship is based on original shipbuilders' plans, completely hand-carved. Not a machine has touched this, by highly skilled artisans in the factory. Going back, if we look at the company itself, we were incorporated in Australia in 2004. There are two shareholders, myself and my Filipino colleague, Christopher Timble. We are major manufacturing operations located in the Philippines, and all product is 100% exported to traditional markets of Western Europe, North America, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, and we are looking at new markets to which the digital program has been planned. We have 70 employees, 50% of whom are on a piecemeal basis, outsourced, and we ensure that 25% of any new employee is sourced through the NGO, the Don Bosco organization, that takes destitute young men and women off the street, gives them some basic vocational training in woodcraft before outplacing. We use sustainable, recycled materials in 80% of the manufacturing process, and our turnover last year was $3.5 million US. If we look at the product mix, we've explained some to you here. Really they're high precision, custom built model ships for the defense market, the collector's market, and aircraft. We've diversified slightly into aerodynamic models with moving ailerons, parts and rudders, which is a mandatory requirement for any air training school under the IATA organization. We do other scale-related type products, spaceships, sci-fi materials, buses, trains, armored vehicles, and we've also recently diversified into custom-built household decorator items for the interior design market. A new angle of the business has been model restoration, as a lot of maritime museums and collectors and owners have models that often need restoring. We have that ability to do it. If we look at our current markets, as I explained, traditionally 100% of our product is exported from the Philippines directly to North America, Western Europe, Japan, Australia and New Zealand. In North America and Western Europe, our markets are serviced by an importer distributor who supplies retailers. And in Japan and Australia, we supply retail outlets and also directly to end users. Our distribution channel, of course, the most preferred one because of the markup involved, is directly to the end user. And how do we get them? Through a number of different ways, as explained on our business to customer distribution channel. Many of them through trade shows, in the online marketplaces of eBay and Gumtree, online promotions that we undertake through a rather docile, passive website that is currently being updated, and through selected magazine advertising. Our business-to-business distribution channels in Japan and Australia and New Zealand also incorporates a retail arm, and so we supply retailers, maritime museum gift shops, other giftware outlets, who then on-sell to end users. Our other business-to-business distribution channel is through, as I mentioned, an importer in Europe based in France who distributes to other retailers in France, Germany, UK, Italy, and so on, who then on-sell to the end user. The markups, of course, are small. However, the importer distributor is restricted by minimum quantity orders of 800, and both are locked into a 2-year contract to have to purchase 800 models minimum every month for 2 years. So we have 3 ways of how we get to our end user. Naturally, we would prefer to go directly to the customer, and we're hoping as time moves on and through a new digital marketing strategy that it will be our key goal to increasingly attract some of these customers. Our marketing efforts so far have been paper-based industry magazine, trade fairs, tailored one-on-one appointment schedules with potential retailers and directed customers. We had a passive website, a direct marketing campaign, and we've been dovetailing our retailers' online presence with support through our website. And of course, as I mentioned, our online marketplace of eBay and Gumtree. Our 2-year digital marketing goal is to expand the business through a basket of online activities, and by doing so build brand awareness of the G-Trans capacity to supply competitively priced high-end model ships and aircraft. This goal is not really something new. It has been modified from our original business plan. Our digital marketing objectives fall under the 5 S's: sell, serve, sizzle, speak and save. And these objectives are measured in the SMART format of strategic and measurable, which of course is something that any director, any shareholder, or any potential lender would want to know. If we look at our end users, we can look at some of these profiles, and let me introduce you to Greg. Greg's standing here. He's 50, single, lives in a flat near the airport, works in telecommunications, has a lot of disposable income, which he spends on his passion for aeroplanes. He wants something that no one else has. He's a member of many discussion online sites, and he stays up all night. On the other hand, Susie is the 30-year-old accountant working for Ernst & Young. She's married to a naval captain who's been away for a long time, is about to come back to shore, and has had a promotion. She wants to buy him a memorable gift, and she has no idea what he'd probably like. Again, Luke is following in his father's footsteps by becoming a pilot, and he's just been given a job, or just been appointed to the position of first officer with Virgin Atlantic. He travels extensively and has many layovers in foreign ports, and spends his nights online on pilot websites and looking at aircraft models and aircraft that he would like to, or indeed what he has flown. Margie, our last profile, is an interior designer based in Melbourne. Her client base are young, professional couples who are restoring inner urban houses, and they want something different, that's something no one else has in terms of objet d'art or occasional furniture. All 4 of these customers, we can satisfy their needs. And in the e-digital space, this is what we plan to do. If we look at how we're going to get to these customers, the key activity will be to push people to a newly revamped website in 3 stages as through this funnel that gets us to the action area of stage 3 of the digital strategy. We start off by social media campaigns using two platforms, Facebook, commercial Facebook, and also QR codes on stationery, social media, blogging and so on. It will then get to stage 2 where a production video comes on YouTube. There's an interactive Skype discussion and possibly webinars that are loaded up to the internet. Again, pushing people up to the decision making through onto the website. So that's our key strategy of how we're going to promote this. So driving potential customers to the website is the key goal. It's the key goal of the strategy. And how do we do that? Through these other items, these calls to action. Search engine optimization will be one tool that we will use. Social media, YouTube clips, email marketing that we have will all focus on pushing customers to the website, where a whole new world will open up. With the website, where you'll really want to go in this new website that's been designed and developed, because there are a number of functions available that makes the customer feel comfortable and engaging. There's an e-commerce basket, checkout function, there's an online chat forum. Want to chat? We're online now. So I know Greg will really want to come online, particularly if someone is online on our webpage wanting to have a discussion. We will have a blog, The Retro Traveller, which has already commenced. And there'll be a language translation tool into key languages, French, German, Japanese, and Chinese, to cater for a global market. There'll be an interactive world map, which will highlight our retailers who supply our models close to it. There will be also a potential for a G-Trans agent to sign up as a G-Trans supplier. If we look at a potential market that we have already started, I would like to introduce you now to Mr. Zhang.
Hi, now I will present the e-commerce space in China. As the Chinese internet firewall blocks too many platforms like the YouTube and the Facebook, as our company Jingis in order to enter the Chinese market, so we should find more channels and platforms. Here, we just list 4 ways for our company to enter the Chinese market, like the quality content, the social media, the Youku to-door, and the business-to-business channel, the business-to-consumer channel, and the QR code. The goal for this activity is to drive the people to visit our official website, and all the content will be translated to the Mandarin. Okay, first, I will talk about the Sina Weibo. Sina Weibo is the Chinese most popular social media platforms. It has around 222 monthly users and trillions of data on their platforms. And as our research, we even found that the most part of users are the females. And it is also very popular in some first-tier cities like Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou. But in some second and third-tier cities, they still have a lot of users. Okay, second, I will talk about the WeChat. The WeChat is also very similar like the Facebook. The Chinese people use it for chatting, and at the same time, the Chinese people also like to share their WeChat moment on WeChat. On the other hand, the Chinese people also use WeChat for shopping. It is very popular in China today. They just scan the barcode and then purchase successful. It's much easier for everyone to use. Okay, The third channel I would like to talk about is Youku Tudou. It is the Chinese largest video platform. And the Youku Tudou is visited by 580 million monthly users across multiple screens, and with over 4,000 videos in its library, and about $400 million generate in advertising revenues. And at last, I would like to talk about two main online business areas in China. The first is Alibaba, which is the world's largest B2B business platforms for the small entrepreneurs. And the second is Taobao.com. It is also belong to Alibaba Group, and it's visited the second most, and it is also the second visited most popular platform in China. And in November 11th, 2005, only in one day, they sell their product and earns around $40.5 billion only in one day. That's amazing. And their sales rate increased about 16% than the last year.
Looking at our internal structure and how we're going to implement the digital strategy, we are looking at expanding our current structure to incorporate a dedicated marketing team. The marketing team will have a digital and traditional marketing responsibilities to undertake initially. The company is looking at appointing 2 new staff in the Philippines to satisfy this function. Prior to this, the 2 company directors have been solely responsible for the marketing efforts of the company. That is, as the company grows, has presented enormous challenges in terms of our limited skill base, in terms of the digital marketing space, and indeed the time constraints because of our other responsibilities. The implementation schedule for the strategy covers the 2-year period commencing July 1, 2016 and concluding on June 30, 2018. As you can see, the 2 years is broken up into 3-month quarters, and the activities are highlighted in the dark colour under each quarter. These activities incorporate website development, appointing staff, going to an online marketplace, implementing there, doing an email database promotion, and also incorporating our immersion into the Chinese digital space. If we look indeed, which is something that I'm sure that you're all interested in, well, how much is this all going to cost? Factored in all the costs on current prices that we've highlighted in the various activities. If we look at the staffing component, in the Philippines, we know what a reasonable salary for a professional digital marketer comes to, and we're looking at appointing 2 over 2 years. That will total 100,000 Australian dollars. We look at the website development, including the development of it, the hosting, the maintenance, the Facebook page, the email database promotion. How much is all this going to cost us? We've crunched the numbers which are outlined in our digital marketing strategy. Similarly, we've gone to a bit of research to undertake, and thanks to Mrs. Zhang, who has come up with the figures if we were to enter into the Chinese market as well. Total amount over the 2-year period to undertake this digital marketing campaign is 219,000 Australian dollars. The return on investment is likely to be seen after 6 months, as we predict, and we move into a profit range after that period. Of course, What are our measurement tools? And this is the sort of thing that you're going to be interested in if you're looking at supporting this project. We're looking at web analytics, of course, the number of unique website visitors to start with, not only the revisits, website conversions, online sales, registration, who has gone onto the wish list, website page views, and so on. All these web analytics will be analysed and crunched and reported to the financier on a quarterly basis. Email direct campaign, what are we looking at in terms of the conversion of rates as a percentage of the campaign emails sent? On the YouTube, number of visitors, comments, number of likes that we received, how many of these have been onto the internet, moved to the website. Online marketplace, number of visitors conversions to actual sales, number of visitors seeking further information, number of visitors leaving positive feedback. All these measurement tools will be done on a quarterly basis and implemented into a report. So finally, what do we want? Well, we're not expecting a financier to come up with $220,000. G-Trans itself has savings to the amount which would cover 50% of that requirement. Just 50%. You say, well, 50% is a large deposit to put down on any loan requirement. The business loan, therefore, that we're looking for is 110,000 Australian dollars. And the good news is that we don't want it all at once. We would like an initial tranche of 27,500, and every 6 months after an evaluation that another 27,500 could be drawn down from a loan set aside. So the risk for you is there. Of course, we share the risk. G-Trans is taking the greater risk. The return on investment is likely, as we have measured, to be seen within the first 6 months of entering into this digital marketing space. So in conclusion, as with most enterprises, and I'm sure yourselves as financiers, failure to engage effectively, we believe, in the online space and in the digital marketing going forward is not an option. If you decide not to go ahead as even a small enterprise these days, you're likely to contract and become smaller. The company regards this as a key driving force in its marketing efforts going forward, and the return of investment is going to be quick, we believe. However, this digital marketing efforts will be supported by our ongoing traditional marketing efforts. We do believe that knocking on doors is not the sole domain of the internet. That getting out there, hoofing it around, is going to be supplemented by this digital marketing activity that we do, including and as well as participating in trade shows that we've been doing, or specific targeted trade shows for which we've been doing for the last 10 years. So to that end, thank you very much for listening. Mr. Zhang and I both thank you very much for your attention, and of course now the decision and questions of which I'm sure you have many, but of course we would like to think that at the end of the day that it will be a bit more of this and not a lot of that. So finally, gentlemen and madam, we hope as you go away you'll be thinking that your final decision will be a bit more like this rather than this. Thank you for listening. So, Mr. Murdoch, are you excited and interested in participating and funding our business strategy, our digital marketing strategy?
Yes, I will. It's exciting.
Yippee!